Ron Hirschhorn here, and what I want to do is go over this great report that Marketplace Pulse put out just recently as a year in review of e-commerce in 2023. Marketplace Pulse puts out this year-end review every year, and I think it's really great. So I wanted to go through it. It highlights a lot of what's happened around e-commerce, around marketplaces in 2023. So let's get right into it. Thank you, Joe, from Marketplace Pulse for putting this out. Okay, so one of the quotes the report starts with is the bet that Amazon made in 2007, which Jeff Bezos said, we are not going to focus on what's going to change over the next 5 to 10 years, but we want to focus on what's not going to change. And what we think is not going to change is that we don't think customers are going to suddenly want slower shipping and higher prices. We know that customers are going to want fast, free shipping, and competitive low prices. So that's exactly what he said. I can't imagine that 10 years from now, our customers are going to say, I love Amazon, but if only they could deliver my products a little more slowly. So this is the bet that Amazon made. And we see that generally speaking, as you see here on the screen, the site that we saw, in the late 90s is not that different. It's more modern today, but it's not that different than what it was from today then. Basically, e-commerce is a search bar. You go on Amazon and you put in keywords, and that's really what e-commerce is. And Amazon is spending more money on fulfillment warehouses and capital expenditures than on thinking about, R&D around the future of commerce. So more investments in infrastructure than in, developing what's next when it comes to e-commerce. And what he's saying is that Amazon sits on top of this S curve. Over time, the innovation has slowed down. Every year, there's companies out there that people say are going to be an Amazon killer, and you see the headlines here: TikTok, Shein, Temu. Despite these companies having an impact in the market, none of them are an Amazon killer. So let's talk a little bit about e-commerce growth. This past year, 2023, was the slowest growth of any year in e-commerce since the 2009 recession. And coincidentally, we saw about a 7.5% year-over-year growth around our clients in terms of sales. So very much corresponds to this 7.5% growth of e-commerce sales in 2023 from 2022. Amazon as a whole, you could say is small. It's only 4% of all of US retail, but it's 40% of all e-commerce and 80% of all sales across marketplaces. So if the conversation is about retail, Amazon could be an afterthought, but for e-commerce businesses that sell through marketplace, Amazon is unavoidable. Shopify stores continue to grow faster than the overall market. So 2022, 2023, still growing at 17, 16%, despite obviously growing a tremendous amount during COVID and even before COVID. But Shopify is closer to QuickBooks than Amazon, right? Shopify is the underlying system that powers e-commerce, but it doesn't create demand, although that may be changing. Shopify results indicate that consumers are comfortable buying directly from brands. Let's talk about, and the reason why I say that may be changing is Shopify has put out some things that indicate that maybe they will offer ads, that maybe they will offer a search engine through the Shop app, and you'll be able to discover more brands. And I happen to think they will be going in that direction. Amazon will deliver 5.9 billion packages in the US, bigger than FedEx and UPS. Although they've been talking about drones since 2013, still, we don't really have drone deliveries. Drones are cool, but Amazon delivers billions of packages using delivery trucks. Fulfillment and logistics are the foundation of Amazon because Amazon doesn't sell goods. It sells goods that ship in 1 to 2 days, and for some shoppers, same day. Amazon has also shifted a philosophy of offering services even when the purchase transaction does not happen on Amazon, like supply chain on Amazon. They're now offering fulfillment services, as well as I believe it's in here, buy with Prime, where a consumer can check out on D2C website and get fulfillment and Prime shipping on a D2C site. So Amazon is starting to offer their services to other channels, even if the transaction doesn't happen there. Walmart's advantage in the marketplace is that 50% of the items we sell online right now are fulfilled out of one of our stores. That capability allows Walmart to ship fast because stores are 90% of people in the US live within 10 miles of a Walmart store. Walmart is number one in grocery, and then you have the rest delivered from warehouses. Smartphones changed commerce as we know it. iPhone launched in 2007, TikTok launched in 2017. The pre-smartphone e-commerce was a sales channel. Now digital drives all of retail, both, what's happening online in marketplaces, D2C sites, as well as in offline retail. Mobile influence is the biggest new factor. Inspiration and purchasing now happen without a big screen in front of us. So mobile shopping is now bigger than shopping on, desktop, and that's going to continue to grow. The currency of the day is attention, and the social networks are the ones that have that attention: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok Shop launched this year. Closest US shoppers had to a social commerce at scale. But while its social commerce take failed, Amazon found a different wedge. It partnered with Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram, and you can now, as a consumer, link your Amazon account with your Meta, Facebook, Instagram account, and Snapchat, and you can see an ad and actually check out right underneath that ad. As you can see here in the screenshots, you could check out directly on the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. And this is kind of the alliance going up against TikTok. I predict you will also see a lot more vertical videos on Amazon in the coming years. Amazon launches vertical video shopping ads and Amazon video posts. And so you'll see more TikTok style reels on Amazon. And I think Inspire will continue to grow as well. So Amazon did approach TikTok to partner. TikTok said no, because they were launching their own shop and did not want to partner with Amazon. The next phase of e-commerce is not just made in China, or made in China, sold by Chinese sellers in the US. It's now made, sold, and marketed by China. We've had, this shift from, Chinese manufacturers and sellers selling through US-based retailers like Amazon, like Walmart. Now you have manufacturers, sellers in China also selling through Chinese-owned retailers like Temu and Shein in the US. Okay, so this is a first. For decades, factories in China made goods that went on the shelves of places like Walmart underneath brand names. The second phase was that half of top third-party sellers on Amazon are based in China. And then the third phase is now the retailer itself being a Chinese company. Shein and Temu have made major inroads in the US. I think Temu was the number one app for all of 2023. Online commerce and gaming benefited from strong spend among advertisers in China, reaching customers in other markets. So Shein, Temu, they are spending lots of money on ads, and it's even making an impact, their spend on platforms like Facebook. Etsy CEO says, I think those two players, Shein and Temu, are almost single-handedly having an impact on the cost of advertising, particularly in some paid channels in Google and Meta. And the Wall Street Journal says a record of more than 1 billion packages entered the US in the fiscal year ended September 30th under the de minimis exception. So being able to ship packages that don't have tariffs because of the dollar value of those packages. Shein, Temu, and AliExpress combined now get over 1 billion monthly web visits. Traffic and hype are not revenue, let alone profit, but they indicate ambition. Amazon sellers are in a market where Amazon is 80% of it. So among marketplaces, Amazon has an 80% market share, and Amazon continues to move away from 1P and more towards 3P. So more 3P sellers continuously, and now 3P sellers make up about 60% of sales on Amazon. We've seen the article this year by Marketplace Pulse that Amazon is now taking about 50% of sellers' revenue. 5 years ago, it was up 40%. So it's a combination of the increased cost of fulfillment, storage, advertising costs as well that have gone up. On average, marketplace sellers are spending about 15% on average in terms of percent of revenue on advertising. And as a result of all this put together, Amazon gets about 50% of the cut, and that is going into hurting sellers' margins. And this opens up opportunity for those other competitors like TikTok and like Shein and Temu to take market share and especially take sellers away, Chinese sellers away from Amazon, or shift some of their focus to have more margin on some of the other channels. According to sellers, typical Amazon seller pays 15% transaction fee, 20 to 35% in fulfillment by Amazon fees, and up to 15% for advertising and promotions, and that together makes up about 50%. Amazon describes FBA and advertising as optional services, and they are optional. You can do merchant fulfilled, and you don't have to use advertising on Amazon. However, very, very challenging to be successful if your product is not available for Prime shipping, and because ads take so much of the real estate that really, unless you're a household brand name with a lot of branded searches or doing a lot of advertising outside, you have to advertise on Amazon. Amazon fees do pay for a lot of value. Whether they're too costly or risen too fast is subjective, but fulfillment costs are still cheaper through Amazon than for sellers to really do on their own. The other big thing this year is the rise of retail media networks. So that means advertising across online retailers. So Amazon and other retail media networks represent the third wave of digital advertising. So think of Walmart ads, Target ads, Instacart, Kroger, all these retail platforms that see the opportunity to take in revenue and at a very high margin with utilizing what Amazon is doing in terms of advertising. And Amazon's advertising business has exceeded a 40 billion annual run rate. And basically, Amazon is ads. You can see the screen here. You look at the top of the page, it's all ads. You go further down the middle, there's a big video ad. There's more ads right below it. There's more ads further down the page. Amazon is ads, basically. And this is a shift that's been happening over the last few years. I think Amazon at this point realizes there's not that much more room to put more ads on the page, and that's why they're shifting more to audience targeting. And they just announced that there will be ads on Prime Video, so that's opening up more space for them to either charge customers $2.99 a month additional for no ads, or to generate revenue by showing ads on Prime Video. So they're basically opening up more additional channels for ad revenue outside of just the pages of Amazon.com, because they sort of maxed out what's possible on Amazon. So what are the new ideas? We continue to reiterate the ideas from a decade or decades ago. In mature market, it's hard to profitably offer better prices, more selection, and faster delivery than established players like Amazon. Let's talk about some future trends. Even if social media is not shoppable, it drives all shopping decisions. Discovery to solve how you find products you don't know about. So that's a means to discover products. Two ad platforms, Facebook and Google, exploded into dozens of ad networks, as all platforms are now ad networks. So again, we spoke about all the different retailers. B2B commerce is also going digital. AI runs the business of every brand. So leveraging AI, collecting data is the number one job of these platforms. Consumer to manufacturer like Shein is a unique selection, unmatched by anyone else, especially in apparel. And tax laws, import duties, shipping subsidies will change the cross-border playing field. So yeah, will there be laws to slow down the impact that Chinese companies are having on US businesses, retailers, and brand sellers? And I believe there will be changes made as Shein and TikTok and Temu continue to take market share away. So what is the future? E-commerce 10 years ago was X%, and today it's X plus Y, right? So basically, this doesn't tell us anything about the future, but basically, yeah, e-commerce 10 years ago was, a few percentage points of all of retail. Today, it's, significantly higher percentage points, but that doesn't really tell us, where it's going. But if you look at where people spend their time, consume content, talk to friends, as a proxy for where things are going, demand generation is key, because selection is infinite now, right? There's infinite shelf. It's not like walking into a store where you just see a few things. And starting a brand takes watching a 15-minute YouTube tutorial. Anybody could start a brand today. Walmart and Costco combined have roughly the same market cap as the entire auto industry, and they only exist because of mass car ownership. The future of commerce is not the growth and penetration of e-commerce or a piece of software. The future is the answer to what the second order effects of all decisions being influenced by the internet are. So this is the year in review. It's going to be very interesting to see one, what happens with the economy in 2024. Will rates come down, kind of giving a boost to the economy, getting people to spend more money? Will there be any regulation across the Chinese platforms like TikTok, Temu, Shein? And will Amazon take more steps to be more competitive? This year, we saw Amazon just recently cut some of their fees on apparel products under $20 and under $10 significantly. And that's because of competition from Shein. So in a sense, the competition from TikTok, Shein, Temu is good for sellers because it puts pressure on Amazon to be more seller friendly. So I think overall it's a good thing, but at the same time, Temu only allows Chinese sellers, and so there isn't an opportunity for US sellers to sort of jump on into the platform and sell. And so there's a disadvantage there. But I thought this was a really good year in review. I hope you enjoyed it. And looking forward to 2024. My prediction is you're going to see a lot of vertical video, a lot more influencer as part of the Amazon shopping experience. And one thing I would focus on is having a continuous generation of those types of videos through influencers that they're posting, they're Amazon influencers that are posting on Amazon, that they're posting on TikTok, that the brand is posting, and continue to leverage content as a way to drive commerce and a way to capture attention. And that Amazon marketing in general is shifting somewhat from just traditionally being more keyword based to today being more and growing audience based, similar to Facebook. I believe you're going to see sellers being able to retarget on Facebook now that there's this deal in place. Right now, Amazon is the only one that can run ads on Facebook and have people check out there, and Instagram and Snapchat. But I think the next phase is brands being able to do that through platforms like DSP. And I think you're going to see a lot more brands also jumping on the Buy with Prime bandwagon to be able to send traffic to their website, capture the customer information, leverage Amazon advertising for that. It's another way Amazon is unlocking advertising dollars. And it's I think a win-win because the brand gets the data and Amazon, the customer gets fast free shipping. So hope you enjoyed this overview and wish you a successful 2024.